Hello and welcome everyone. We're here with Bow Live, brokers, opens, and tours worldwide, and Florida Closing and Escrow. We're here with the owner and expert real estate attorney who got voted as top 50 real estate attorneys in America, John Ioannou.
Hi.
And welcome. And we are located with our main office in Sunny Isles, and I believe the only title company in that area. And in addition, there's other locations, and we're also mobile. And our goal is to assist you with your closing success from contract to closing for residential, commercial, in-state, out-of-state, out-of-country, and we are multilingual, wireless, paperless, and again, remote. We have an expert team to assist you with all your title and closing needs. Today's topic is the new Condo Rider, and then I'm going to be speaking just with a brief market update and some tools to assist your real estate needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the new condominium rider. I'm going to share my screen now, and then we're going to go through the different editions. So we're going to first start with the new condominium rider. Here it is. You're going to most likely say it's very similar to the old one, which it does. It's identical except for paragraph 10, the last paragraph on the last page of the rider. The old rider, as reference, looked like this for paragraph 10. So the new rider added these two additional documents. Now, just to go over this one, the first one from the last condominium rider is the governance form. Now, the governance form is basically this document here. It's a document provided by the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. This is just a 5-page document talking about the rules of the board of directors and the rules of unit owners. So that you can get online, very easy, or you can contact myself or Cindy and we can provide that document if a buyer requests it. Now we go back to the new condominium rider, and the second form that's being requested is the milestone inspection report summary. Now, the new law says that pursuant to section 718-503-2A5 of the Florida statutes, buyer who has entered into this contract is entitled at seller's expense to receive from seller before the sale of the property a copy of the inspector prepared summary of the milestone inspection report as described in section 553 and 718 of the Florida statutes, if number one, applicable, and two, the summary has been submitted to the association. Now, what is a milestone inspection report summary? So we have to go to section 553.899. And here it gives a description or a definition of the milestone inspection. It means it's a structural inspection of a building, including an inspection of load-bearing walls and the primary structural members and primary structural systems, as those terms are defined in section 627, by a licensed architect or engineer authorized to practice in this state for purposes of attesting to the life safety and adequacy of the structural components of the building and, to the extent reasonably possible, determining the general structural condition of the building as it affects the safety of such building, including a determination of any necessary maintenance, repair, or replacement of any structural component of the building. Wow. So basically you saw throughout that paragraph the word structural. So obviously this is in response to the tragedy that happened in Surfside. There's structural the structure of the building collapsed, and that's what happened. So this new law provides for inspections of the structural components of the building. So that's what this milestone inspection report is. So now we have to determine, number one, if it's applicable to our contract. So we go back to the statute, and the statute says that a condominium association under Chapter 718 and co-ops, so this is for both condos and co-ops, must have a milestone inspection performed for each building that is 3 stories or more in height. So obviously 3 stories or more, 2 stories and below do not need this inspection done. By December 31st of the year in which the building reaches 30 years of age, based on a certificate of occupancy for that building, and every 10 years thereafter. And it goes on to say, and this is important for us in Southeast Florida, if the building is located within 3 miles of a coastline as defined in Section 376, a condominium association or co-op must have a milestone inspection performed within 25 years of age of the building and done every 10 years thereafter. So if the building is on the beach, if it's 25 years old, it must have this inspection. So 25 years, we're in 2023, that goes to basically about 1998. If the building was built after that time, it's not applicable, and this inspection report does not need to be done. And then if the inspection report has been done and the summary has been given to the association, if the buyer requests it, then you, if you're a listing agent, must get that report from the association. You have to contact the association and ask them for a copy. Most likely, most of the associations are getting up to speed. This just came out on the 20th of March. So most associations and the association attorneys are realizing that people might start asking for this. So they're going to start preparing to have these handy in case realtors ask for them. Then we look to subsection C. Structural integrity reserve study. So the first one was the milestone inspection report. The second addition to the condominium rider is the structural integrity reserve study. Again, talking about structure. Structure is very important, as we talked about, because of the tragedy. They want to make sure these buildings are structurally sound. So this new addition states, pursuant to section 718-503-2A6 of the Florida statutes, buyer who has entered into this contract is entitled at seller's expense to receive from seller before the sale of the property a copy of the association's most recent structural integrity reserve study, or a statement that the association has not completed a structural integrity reserve study. So what is a structural integrity reserve study? It's basically a newly developed form of reserve study, and reserve meaning the reserves of the building. If the building is holding reserves to pay for additional items in the future. Required by Florida statutes 7B4D, that is designed to ensure that condominium associations are reserving funds for the long-term maintenance and necessary replacement of critical structural elements in the building. So, as we know what reserves are, some buildings have reserves, some don't. A reserve study basically says, okay, so roof, let's say the roof of the building is good for 20 years. And in 20 years, in order to replace the roof, it's going to cost, I don't know, $200,000. So basically, they'll divide that cost by the number of years. And that's will be then prorated on the number of unit owners within the building. And everyone splits that cost. So that's the reserve study. So if the association did a reserve study, then they need to provide it to an agent upon request. If they didn't do a reserve study, they must provide a statement, and this is in the last sentence of this last paragraph, a statement saying that the association has not completed a structural integrity reserve study. So that's basically it. It's these two additional disclosure documents required in the new condominium rider under paragraph 10. One is an inspection report, and one is a structural integrity reserve study. And that is the new condominium rider. If you are a listing agent and the buyer requests it, you have to get it. This does mention that the buyer is entitled to it. So it doesn't mean that it's not part of the condo docs. We had a question about it earlier where do we need to give it? And if we don't give it, can the buyer cancel? No. This just says that the buyer is entitled to receive it. So if they want it and they ask for it, you have to get it if you're a listing agent. If the buyer doesn't ask for it, then you don't have to get it if you're a listing agent. If you're a buyer's agent, if the building is older, maybe 30, 40, 50 years old, this might be important to get. You want to definitely know if they did these inspections, what were the results of the inspections, what's their plan moving forward to pay for repairs and things like that. So if it's an older building, definitely as a buyer's agent, it would be important to ask for those. And basically, if you're a buyer's agent, you would ask the listing agent, hey, provide these two documents from the association. The listing agent, as we mentioned, must contact the association and provide them to you as a buyer's agent. So that is the new condominium rider. If you have any additional questions or concerns about it, please feel free to contact myself or Cindy.
Okay, and we're at 1-800-FL-CLOSE, and I could be reached at 786-457-6832. And now I just wanted to mention that Miami is the 5th most important real estate market for the world's wealthiest, per Douglas Elliman and Knight Ford Wealth Report. We're behind London, New York, LA, and Hong Kong. And this was based on the number of deals of $10 million and up. And to mention a few of the latest deals in Miami, twin identical brothers bought homes on an 11-acre lot for $47 million that are separated by a stock lake in the Southwest Ranch area. Also, South Florida land prices have soared since 2020, but lately there's been a slight adjustment due to all of the interest rate hikes, and the prices are not raising as much as previously. And John, do you have a comment on the activity that we've seen lately?
It's staggered. It's interesting. It's a very interesting time. The interest rates are obviously going up. We're getting more cash buyers now, but we're still getting some loan purchases as well. People are realizing if they do find a home that they love, they can buy now at maybe a higher interest rate, and maybe in a couple of years, once the interest rates start to go down, they can refinance. So they're still taking the opportunity to get a good property if they find one. Here in South Florida, we're still getting a lot of people coming down from other states purchasing homes. So our local market is still holding up very well compared to national numbers.
And we're seeing some foreign national buyer increase, such as from South America, I believe from China and Russia. Anywhere else that you're seeing, John?
Everywhere and anywhere. If they're smart, I mean, it's beautiful here. And if they want a good property in a great area and a strong investment, South Florida is the place to be.
And the weather, and because of the tax reasons also, there are many reasons to buy a second home here or to relocate here. And a lot of development is going on. One, for instance, is MG3. They're developing office market space near the Aventura Hospital. And the price is $95 million per acre. which is a little decline, but they did have a purchase in 2019, I believe, for the same property of $781,800. So, prices are still hot, good, and a little bit, adjustment lately. And as far as realtors that we work with, I have some recommendations. Number one is to brand yourself, to build trust with your clients, build relationships, stay in communication with them. Per NAR, National Association of Realtor data, 47% of buyers start their search for properties online. So that's social media. So you need a strong presence. Also, 96% of buyers used online tools during their search. And also, even if you're referred as an agent, people usually Google you. So you want good reviews. You want a strong online presence and a consistent presence. And if you don't have time to do the marketing for yourself, please contact me. One of the tools I recommend is artificial intelligence, AI, and digital marketing. There is a special. Today is the last day for this special, so please contact me. Only $192 for the year or $49 a month for realtors, a online platform for Google, Facebook Messenger, and YouTube, all automated for you to develop leads, and also with a pixel for retargeting, lead capture, and more. And also, of course, we have BOW available to you, brokers, opens, and tours worldwide, and we can actually assist you with opens. We can help broadcast live and or do virtual opens if you don't want anyone on the property. There are more brokers opens being conducted now since, after COVID. However, not as frequently as before. And a lot of people do love the online live brokers open opportunity. So please contact us. Again, we're here to assist you with your success. And thank you for joining us. And you could always watch the replay. And if you have any questions or need our assist, we also would love to assist you when there's any new buyers or sellers. If you want John, or we have other attorneys, we have Anthony Bauza, and we have a bilingual staff, multilingual staff actually, and they can do contract review, contract drafts, and addendums. And again, our goal is your success. John, you want to add anything?
The only thing is, yeah, if you can get us contracts before they're signed, that's the most important part. We'll
Okay.
receive contracts that are signed by both parties, and there are changes that are needed, so it becomes a little bit more difficult to do that. But if you can
Either
send
way.
us a contract before you send it to your clients, we'll be happy to look at it at no charge.
Okay, excellent. So we're here to assist you, and we look forward to helping you with your closing success. Thank you very much for joining us from Florida Closing and Escrow and BOW.